Since we need something to do between Jonathan Maberry novels, who are some other authors you like? One in particular that comes to mind, feels sort of like yours, but a little more fantastic, is the guy who writes the chess team novels. Familiar with those?
Yeah. Is that Jeremy?
Jeremy Robinson. Yeah. Who else?
Jeremy Robinson's stuff's great. In fact, I'm just about to cover quote his next one. He's a really good guy. If you're Joe Ledger fans, Vince Flynn, his Mitch Rapp series is great. Brad Thor's Scott Hallison series is great. Brad Thor actually also has he has a book that deals with a female special ops team called the Athena Project. Yeah. Brad's a great guy too, and he's also a zombie fan, so big points for Brad. F. Paul Wilson, Repairman Jack, who's just about to wrap the Repairman Jack books. He's not going to do any more, but he's done a couple of books called Jack, which are teenage. Before he became Repairman Jack, when Jack was a quirky, weird, violent, dangerous teenager, he wrote 3 novels there, and Paul's a wonderful guy. Mira Grant, for zombie fans, Mira Grant's series. I can't remember the name of the series. The first book's called Feed.
They're called the Newsflash.
Newsflash, yeah. That's a great series.
Just finished the last class.
Yeah. Joe McKinney is a special favorite of mine. Dead City, Apocalypse of the Dead, and Flesh Eaters is a great zombie trilogy. It's set in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And deals a lot with, this is what FEMA didn't do, and this is why it could cause the zombie apocalypse. It's great stuff. Let's see who else is writing really bizarre. There's really, just tons of great stuff out there. There was one guy who was writing a series that I really liked, Z.A. Recht, but unfortunately passed unexpectedly. So somebody else is finishing the last of that Morningstar series. And there's let's see if there's any other mainstream thriller series that would be in the same genre. Lee Child, that's not the same sort of thing, but as a wisecracking tough guy is Lee Child's Jack Reacher series, which is actually going to be a film series with Tom Cruise, and that's probably I like Tom Cruise. I like but he's just totally wrong for it.
That requires an actor, not a celebrity.
Cruise can act sometimes. Last Samurai, I love Last Samurai, but he's just wrong for the part.
Yeah,
and they're making World War Z with Brad Pitt, which is
weird.
Yeah, weird, but he's a huge zombie fan, and he and Leonardo DiCaprio originally got into a bidding war for the film rights to Walking Dead, and that sounds like the punchline of a joke.
It's just weird to me that they
have a bidding war for World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z, I'm sorry. And I'm thinking, how these guys bidding World War Z? And I've talked to Max a number of times, and he said he couldn't understand it. And in fact, he's still a little surprised at his own celebrity. He's still positive that his father's going out and buying all the copies of the books and must have because they're continuing to sell, and he's like, they're just silly little books. The first one Max did, which was the Zombie Survival Guide, it was written as a pitch for he was a writer for Saturday Night Live. It was written as a pitch for a skit for Saturday Night Live, and they're like, nobody knows about zombies. Nobody cares about zombies. It's not going to be funny. It's like, this is going to be great. This is hilarious. And so he just went and he wrote it as a book, figuring, maybe he'll get a small press to put out, 500 copies so he can give him his Christmas gifts, that sort of thing. 1 million copies later, books still continuing to sell, re-energized the entire genre. He wrote World War Z to satisfy his college history professors and political science professors, because that's what he was studying originally. And it's a great book on politics. It's a really fantastic book on politics. If any book more clearly demonstrates that zombies are a marvelous metaphor, that book does it. It's brilliant. So good for him. And with the Walking Dead series, the new second season coming up. We did a panel last night with one of the zombies from Walking Dead, which is so cool.
That's it.
Oh, there you are over there. Hey, how you doing? Actually, don't leave. I want to get your contact information. But they're also doing there's 2 things coming up related to that. There's a book of essays coming up called Triumph of the Living Dead. and a whole bunch of us were asked to write essays about either the comics or the TV show or both. And I did one on the leadership skills of blanking as Rick. And mind you, he's borderline psycho, or maybe crossed the border and actually bought real estate over there. But he does form a kind of leader, and he's an example of what's known as the charismatic leader. People will follow him even if they might be a better leader themselves. There's something about him, maybe because he keeps surviving all this stuff. If after 10 battles one guy's still on his feet and everyone else has died, look at what he's doing. Yeah. Of course, the other thing is, if everyone else has died every time he's going through a battle, maybe he's not the guy to be with. But nobody seems to figure that one out either. But he's an interesting character. So that comes out right at the end of October too. So we got a lot of stuff coming out in October. And Jay Bonansinga, who's a great writer, is doing a series of novels with Robert Kirkman. Bob's giving him a lot of backstory that hasn't yet made it to the comics or the TV show. And the first novel is called Rise of the Governor, and it gives that backstory. For those of you who read the comic and know who the Governor is, this is kick-ass stuff. But it ties into the series, which is great, because we will find out. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but anyways, it ties into the series, and it's just great. So that's really cool stuff. Anyway.